Hey students, in previous lecture I discussed aggregate function where I discussed mean, max, count, sum, average. In today's lecture I will discuss having clause. Having clause we apply to a group rather than a tuple. Let's see one example. Find the average salary of instructor in those departments where the average salary is more than $42,000. So first we need to find average salary and we need to show the department whose average salary is greater than 42,000. First we need to group by department name with their average salary. Then on that we can apply the having clause condition that it should be greater than 42,000. We apply the having clause after group have been formed, so aggregate function can be applied. Like here, first we'll group on department name, then we'll apply the having clause on average salary. Now the SQL query for this will be select department name, average salary. As average salary, we are renaming this from instructor. Instructor is the relation name. Group by department name having average salary greater than 42000. Now output will be like this: department name, average salary. Here it will show all the department name whose average salary is greater than 42,000. Here first we did the group by on department name, then on that group by we apply the having clause. So which department average salary is greater than 42,000, that will show. Now in which sequence we should execute? First we should check the from. The from clause is first evaluated to get the relation. There may be single relation, there may be multiple relation. So first we'll execute the from clause, then we'll execute the where clause. In where clause there may be some condition. So after from we'll check the where. After where we'll do the group by. If there is no group by, then whole relation will consider one group. After group by, we'll do the having clause. Already group is formed. On that, we'll apply the having clause. Whatever the condition are on having clause, that will apply to the group. After that, on select which attribute are written for display. So that we'll check. So first we'll check the from. We'll get the relation. Then where, then group by, then having, then select. Let's see one example. For each course section offered in 2019, find the average total credit of all students enrolled in the section if the section had at least 2 students. If there is at least 2 students, then we'll show that section and total credit. Now select course ID, semester, year, section ID, average, total credit. From take natural join student, we'll get this information from two relations. One is take, one is student. Where year equals to 2019. Group by course ID, semester, year, section ID. And what is the last condition? If this section had at least 2 students. So need to count the student ID. If student ID count is greater than 2, then only. Having count ID greater than equals to 2. So it will count how many students are there, and if this count ID greater than equals to 2, then it can show course ID, semester, year, section ID and average total credit. So how it will execute? First it will check the from. It will do the natural join of take and student. This is our first step. Then second step, it will check the where condition, where year equals to 2019. Third, we'll do the group by course ID, semester, year, section ID. Then 4, having count ID greater than 2. Then after this, we'll show course ID, semester, year, section ID and average total credit. So this will be the 5th step. First we'll execute from, then where condition, then we'll do the group by, then having, then we'll show the final attribute of the select. Next, aggregate with null and boolean value. Actually in SQL it ignore null. If null is present, it ignore null. For example, in case of sum, mean, max, average, it will ignore. In case of count, it will consider null as 1. So null value when they exist complicate the process of aggregate operator. For example, select sum salary from instructor. If there is some null, then it will ignore that null and find the sum of others array. So this sum will sum all the value including null. The standard SQL says sum operator should ignore null value in its input. So if there is null present, then it will ignore that null value. Only in case of count star, it will count null as 1. All other function it will ignore. So all aggregate function except count star ignore null value in their input collection. That's all about having clause and null with aggregate function. In next lecture, I will discuss nested subquery. Having clause we can use after group by. And if there is no group, then it will consider whole relation as one group. If today's lecture is helpful for you, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.